What's up? We're gonna try this again. Oh, better turn my heat on. Maybe you can see me. I think so. All right, I got my press in. A little later than I wanted to go live, but I'm live. Got somebody blowing me up on Instagram. Oh, can't see nothing. So I got my press in. Check this thing out. $25 or so on oh, that one right here. $25 or so on Amazon. Oh, I forgot my arms. So I was going to build one. Man, I don't know why the light is right in the dang way. Maybe that's better. All right. So I was going to build one, and I seen this one for 25 bucks, and I thought, man, I couldn't build it cheaper. Probably took me just as long to get it. I'll show you kind of how it works here in a second. But yeah, that lets me press the springs down in the clutch packs and pull the clips off without hurting myself, I guess. So I've got most everything cleaned up on this. I using lacquer, not lacquer thinner, using mineral spirits to clean it. And a little cheap chip brush to kind of scrub it with. It does a pretty good job. I don't know what pack this is right offhand, but see the clutches in this pack was can't remember which pack that is. There's a steel. A steel and a clutch. Oh no, there's your clutch. So that's here's the steel. There's the clutch. You see that? They were nasty. They were gone. Now here's one of those big honking springs I had to compress to get that clip out. That's pretty stout. scrub this thing down. Said I'm not working on the Suburban, so I'll do a live video, or try to do live videos on weekends where I'm not working on the truck or four-wheeling. I'm gonna spin this around so I can see. Is that? Yeah, that makes an ass, don't it? Woo, about made a mess. I believe it was on this pack here where you had to pay attention and make sure that these weren't split across here. But you can see that they're kind of beefed up right where that ring goes. Let me go grab a different towel. Get this thing cleaned up. Oh, the rebuild kit and stuff should be in this week. Try to get it all cleaned up and ready to go. That way I can get it thrown back together pretty quick once I get everything I need. I've been waiting for a week for this press, and what it'll do, sit in here, and you can compress these springs to get the clutch packs out. I was impatiently waiting on those. It's looking pretty good. Wrong lid. Try to clean this thing up as good as possible. That way I have the best chance of it not coming back apart. One thing you can do to flush those channels is to get a ketchup bottle. Put a little clean mineral spirits in it. Stick it down in here. Give her a squeeze. kind of blow any chunks out of there that may be stuck. See, this cleaned up pretty good. Let's see, can you see right in here where the clutch plates wore is kind of rough, not terribly rough, but you can definitely see there was some spots where they were bouncing around. I guess that's what they do, but that looks pretty good. Again, can't find anything. It's aluminum, so don't want to gouge it. And all these seals will come with the rebuild kit. What's everybody doing? I thought I was talking to myself. There's a few people here. Anybody else in the shop working on stuff? Anybody go play today? I know some of the Show Me State Overland guys were supposed to run some trails today, and I got to miss out on that. If I'd known it was going to take so long to get this press in, I would have I'd have went wheeling instead. Well, you can't hardly see me. That good? Yeah. So, still trying to get used to this live thing. Feel weird talking to myself. So one reason why I think a lot of people's transmission failures after they just rebuild one is because they don't take the time to clean every little bit, and you get pieces of metal in it. And in my torque converter, the torque converter that was in it, I cleaned it out, and you wouldn't believe the amount of metal that was still in it after cleaning it out a couple times. So it was probably best that we went ahead and ordered another one. But on Rock Auto, the torque converter for that was only $162, so you probably couldn't take it to a transmission shop and have them flushed for that, you know. So we went ahead and did that. It's good. If I got mineral spirits in that or not. Don't taste like it. So I'm just going to stick these back together loosely. So So I don't know if you've seen earlier, anybody on here? Yeah, there's 9 people. So you can see there's a steel. That's supposed to be a clutch plate. And then the steel, you can kind of see where they're kind of pitted up, maybe. Yeah, you can kind of see they're pitted up. And there's another clutch plate. Not 100% sure what that leaf pack is. Or not leaf pack, what that clutch pack is. But it's burnt up. Alright, I think I got everything cleaned. Here you can see this little clutch pack here. You can see the difference between the steels and the clutch pack. They did pretty good. This must have been reverse. Not 100% sure, but I think this was probably reverse. All right, so we'll see if I can use this press. Use this press without it being, oh, better get this bearing out of there. Without it being in a vise. I think you're supposed to squeeze it in a vise, that way you can, spacer. You can see here these springs, so I have to compress that, and there's no way to compress that and then get this clip off of there. So use this. Can you see that? Yep. So this little tool will be a lifesaver. Now let's see, somebody pull up. This little tool will be a lifesaver. I could have built it, but for 25 or 30 bucks, however much it was on Amazon, it was not worth it. Right. Let's turn it down. Make some contact. Should probably be wearing safety glasses, huh? Good. Ah, gotta tighten this one up tight. It was pushing it. Ooh, that's tight. don't think these are narrow enough to get down in there. They are not. So I have these Carlisles that you can either compress or expand. It's easy enough. Back this out and see if it'll bust me in the face. I'm gonna turn it sideways. And I greased that thing, and it's still hard to turn. But Amazon tools. So that saved my butt. Alright, so now pull this spring cage off. Whew. Set it to the side. You can see there's a little piston in here. Pull that out. See how nasty it is in there. Alright, so this one has a seal on the outside and not the inside here. Alright, I'm going to spin that light back around and wash everything out. So last week, I was following instructions from a guy on YouTube that goes by Transmission Bench. And that's also who I bought the parts from. He really put in some time to make the videos. I believe he does it for Dodge, Chevy, and Ford transmissions. And if that's the case, he really put in some time to do this. But he's helping people out, and he's making a little money selling rebuild kits. So I'm very willing to pay for a rebuild kit through him just for making these videos that are step by step. You walk through it. I don't have to play in the night because I'm just cleaning parts. But when I was tearing it apart, that was That sure helped, because if I had to go in blind, no telling what I'd have messed up. But anybody talking? No, nobody's talking. I may have messed it up again though. You may not be able to comment. All right, things way cleaner now, huh? So if you look in here, you may be able to see, turn this up, get it out of the way. All right, you see it? Pretty good. See these tiny little holes? To make sure those are clean. It cleaned up pretty good. You can kind of see some wear on this shaft here. But you can't feel, oh, sorry. There we go, that's better. Kind of see some wear there, but you can't really feel it. I may have to get a little straight edge and stick in there and feel. These gloves on, you can't really feel anyway. But that cleaned up good. Alright, so those were the pieces there. Those bearings. Lots of spacer. What's up, Todd? Yeah. Well, let me get a little more confident in it. We may talk about it. You get that one pulled? It hits me in the eye, you're going to see me cry. Yeah. It's a little too cold to do anything outside today. Until about the last hour of daylight, and then you couldn't have got started without getting cold again. Cleaned up pretty good. Go ahead and remove that seal. See how many metal shavings and stuff were in that seal. Well, I think I found the whole problem with this transmission. If you look real close right here under my thumb, it's backwards, but can you see that? Yeah, that's the whole problem with it. But I'll give it one thing, it's pretty easy to work on. We'll just see if I can get it put back together and make it run. That may be the problem. Uh-oh, where'd that one come from? If you see me pass out, you'll know why. I don't know if it'll kill me, it'll probably just make me drunk. Stack all those back up where they came from. Alright, I think that was probably the last thing I had to clean. I don't know if you can see in there and see how dirty this is. Do something kind of fun if I can find it. I'll show you something real quick. Get the magnet. Try not to drop it and break it. I don't know what I did with that other magnet I had. Had one that was a little stronger. Something that's kind of fun though. Take a magnet and stick in here and swash that around. And see how much metal was in there. Oh, washed it out. Hang on a minute. All right, we'll do it again. You can see right here, there's nothing. And that's why people's transmission rebuilds fail, because they don't clean it out. They don't clean everything well. How crazy is that? I wish gold was that easy to pan. A lot of metal. See stuff that didn't come out. A lot of glitter in there. Yes, I'll clean up some of this stuff, clean these gaskets off. Stuff stinks. think I got one more on this little bitty plate here. That goes between the valve body. This is going to be the one to stick. Goes between the valve body and the transmission. Well, I didn't stick too bad. There is a place on this one you're supposed to check and make sure it's not cracked. And it's right here. Well, let me get it cleaned up and I'll show you. So on this plate, if it's damaged, you can buy a new plate and it'll be thicker than this. I don't know what the thickness is on this one, but I believe the aftermarket ones, the fixer ones, they're an 1/8 inch. So if you look right here, let's see that? So one of the solenoids has a sharp cap on it and it'll come up and hit this plate. So it's this retainer for that solenoid. It comes up and smacks this plate, and you can see there's a little indentation, but it's not cracked. So the Sonax kit that repairs the damages in the transmission, the common failures, it has a cap that you stick over this and it will spread the load out. It's probably 3 times the size of that. And it'll spread the load out so you don't get this pinpoint prick and it'll crack. So that's good. That was something else I didn't want to have to buy. This one looks pretty good. You can see there's some tiny, see if I stick my glove behind it, you can see there's some tiny little, like right here, you can see that. Make sure none of those are clogged. That plate looks pretty good. Go over here. There's the valve body. It cleaned up pretty well. There's still some spots that I need to get in there and clean, like right here. But I'll do that whenever I get the kit and we're going to rebuild some of these valves in here. So it'll be just easier to clean it without the valves in it. Some of these solenoids. I believe these cups all get replaced. I believe so. So these are metal. I know in the 4L60 in the Suburban, these were all plastic. And I bought a kit and converted them all to aluminum and did the Corvette servo and all that whenever I did the Suburban. But it just amazed me that all those solenoid cups were plastic. Well, that one's nasty inside. I don't know if you can see that. Like I said, I don't know why I'm cleaning that. I believe I get all new of these. Anybody gonna chat? I think Todd done peeled out maybe. I said this live thing's weird, talking to myself. The kit may come with new caps too. I'm not 100% sure. Just wish you'd hurry up and get here so I get this thing put back in the van and sent on its way. Way I can get in the shop. The way it is right now, I have the van on jack stands in front of my garage door, and I can't get in here and work on the Suburban. Alright, so this one has an inner and an outer spring. I'll put some more of this back in here. Probably boring live. You don't want to watch somebody clean parts, huh? Uh-oh. Is that spring in the yellow one or the brown one? I think it was in the yellow one. Yeah, it was. Woo! Parts messed up and the thing will go in reverse when I put it in drive. Alright, you can see this one had an inner spring and an outer spring riding on it. That one went there. And this one just had a single spring on the inside. Okay, that one. these, whoop. Clean these up. I don't think this little tub likes being subjected to mineral spirits. Kind of feels like it's melting. So here's the piece that knocks a hole in that spacer plate, all cleaned up. You can see how it's pointed on top and it knocks a hole in that plate. Thing about these cups, I think they all come, I think the kit comes with new ones, but every one of these little grooves that are inside of here, it all holds that metal. And you got to get all that out when you redo the transmission. Or you probably should get all of it out. My ventless heater kicked on and well, it stinks. I'm running the not lacquer thinner, this is mineral spirits in here I'm cleaning these with. And that ventless heater's burning those fumes. Probably better open my doors. Get a little draft in here. I believe this one here is for the overdrive band. Little clip here, I'm gonna pull that clip off. Try not to shoot it. Try not to shoot it across the country. Oh man, there's metal on that. Good. Got it. And let me pull the pin out, separate the spring, and then look at all this crud that's up in there. If you don't take that out, that new transmission is going to be eaten alive. I believe that's the overdrive band, or the overdrive solenoid. I very well could be wrong because I don't have any idea what I'm doing. So for my protection, this is not a how-to of how to clean your parts. So you can see on this solenoid here, when I depressed it with my homemade press, I put a little burr on the end of that. Make sure and knock that burr off, that way it don't come off in the transmission. So I'm just going to use a little piece of sandpaper, knock that burr off of it. See, it didn't take much. Alright, now look how clean that is and how much gunk was built up inside that solenoid. Solenoid, however. Alright, so one thing you can do, if you can see it, but you can kind of test. This one here is the overdrive, I believe. Let's see. That's the one to come out of there. We'll see if there's any slack in this pin. It really, oh no, I about dropped it down in there. It feels really good. There's not a lot of play in it. You know, sometimes they can wear out, and then you'll get some play up and down in there, and then you lose pressure by that pin. And that could be a reason why the overdrive goes bad, is because you don't have enough pressure. And here it's not too bad. But the reverse solenoid and the overdrive solenoid uses the same size pin. And let me spin it around here maybe. Maybe you'll be able to see it a little better. All right. So this is the overdrive. Stick that in there. I'm gonna wiggle it. And you can probably hear that. And so this is the reverse. Hardly any movement at all. I believe the kit comes with a, if it don't come with it, you can get a sleeve for that, or you drill it out and put a sleeve in it, I believe. I may be telling you all wrong too, but I believe you can get a sleeve. You drill it out, press the sleeve in, and it'll fix that. If that's not how they do it, they fix it somehow at home. Sorry, that light was bouncing off my head, blinding everybody. I still have some people on rambling like this. I commend you because I'm washing parts and there's still people watching. I think my live stream does better than my videos. That's not saying much though. Anybody want to talk about the Suburban? I keep scooting forward so I can read those comments. You're not going to learn how to fix anything, Todd. I'll show you how to screw it up. Maybe not. We'll see. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought I lost this E-clip. About the only thing I know, Todd, is that you have to do your best to keep it clean. Get every bit of it out. Now here's the reverse solenoid. Or maybe that's the overdrive. One or the other. Yeah, that's the reverse, I believe. Look how nasty that sucker is. Well, you see how nasty all that is. You think every one of those lip seals, they have a little groove around them, and that groove's just packed plumb full of that sludge. I don't know how you're supposed to get all that out. You got to run down there. Yeah, I bet it will need a lot of cleaning. I can smell it already. Whew. Yeah, if it looks like motor oil, that's no good. You gonna get that swapped out and put back in tomorrow? All right, that looks a lot better. Cover cleaned off. You can see the spot again where my tool left a burr. I'll clean that off again. That's the plan. Hope it works out. Yeah, hope it works out for you too. If I try to do stuff in a day, it won't happen. But you're the Chevy man. If anybody can do it, you can. There's the problem again. It's circled. Todd, you gonna rebuild that one, or are you just swapping it out? I think you told me, I just don't remember. Show you this part here where the overdrive band was slipping. Chewed that up. I got one of those on order. I cleaned that up. I don't even know why I cleaned it up, because it'll be this whole shell that I get. Pull this pump apart. I may have to go get some tools. Pull the pump apart and clean it. I think that's the only part I've not cleaned yet. Well, I don't think I will. I think I'll wait to do that. So that's crazy how much crud come off of just those solenoids. I wish I could show you that. It's crazy. See that flood? You probably can't see the junk floating down the edge of that. I think I pulled more crud out of those solenoids than I did out of those clutch packs. Paper towel is probably not the best filter. We'll compare to what I dump out of this to that paper towel where I dumped out of the clutch packs. I should probably be using cheap coffee filters for this instead of paper towels. It'd be cheaper. There's way more glitter in this than the, wow, way more glitter in it than what there was with the other. I don't know if you can see that. So on my sleeve, you can see that. Let's see. That's that bushing material. It's brass or copper, whatever it is. You couldn't see it. Wow. I don't know if you can see all that. I changed my mind. I think that's yellow paint off of those springs, or off that one spring. I don't think it's that bushing material. All right, so you can see that there was what I cleaned the clutch packs or all the hard parts with. And this here is just what come off of the solenoids. Never would have thought the junk would have been in the solenoids and not the hard parts. All right, well, I'm done for tonight. Thanks for watching, y'all. Appreciate it. Todd, good luck with that transmission tomorrow. Figure out how to get off this thing.